Y'all see this knife? It's old as a mug. It was given to me by my ex, and since it has like this little pocket clip on it, and it seems to be pretty durable, and it's been sharp at times I needed it the most for certain things. But a funny thing, I was like, give me more reason to stab you, cause I'm sharpening my knife. That's a you know that song from what's her name? Chapman. Because give me more reason to stay here because I'm turning back around. I had to say the real lyrics that she said to the song because I'm just crazy, y'all. But they want me to think I'm crazy to the point like I'm crazy, like I'm delusional or I'm schizophrenic or I'm all those names that they label people that have mental problems, and they wanted to make it seem like it was exaggerated to the point where I needed to be placed into the psych ward or the mental hospital, and they wanted to make it sound like I needed a straitjacket. That's how crazy they wanted it to sound when they had set it up for me to be put in the psychiatric hospital. And baby, let me tell you something. I was pissed as hell because I knew it was a setup, but boy, when I got up out of there, it was if I felt like I was in jail, like I got out of jail because I had went to jail one time back in 2017 when my family called the police on me for my ex-husband. They were on his side, and and because it snowed, I was in there longer than I was supposed to be, like 3 or 4 days longer, because the judge said, hell no, they ain't getting up out of their bed to come to that courtroom. So our black ass and our Mexican and white asses was still up in that jail waiting for like 3 or 4 more days longer. And then I was like, but anyways, that's not what this is about. I just wanted to talk about how my therapist decided okay, so everything is confidential, right? But he had been sharing some of the things I was talking about with some of the other people at the office that he works at. Well, he's an intern there, and his internship allegedly is supposed to be ending soon, this month, in about 10 days. So I won't be. I had therapy for at least 8 months, between 8 months and 1 year. I've been having therapy, so it has helped. Um, the thing is, he started to seem like he tried to make it seem like I was psychotic again. He was like, I might have been experiencing some psychosis, and it sounds like the stories I've been telling him sounds a bit crazy. And then he told me to make a police report about something I had been going through at my house, and then send an email after I make the police report and update his office and tell them about the police report that I made. For whatever reason, he said that, but I'm starting to see uh, spiritually why he had me do that, because he was trying to insinuate that I was being psychotic again because of the things I was telling him. The way I told him the story, it was hard for him to believe because it wasn't happening to him, and I was able to like assess that and tell him that I recognized that he felt uncomfortable with some of the things I was telling him about me being gang stalked, telling him in detail like the things that had happened, like the the threats from a Freemason, a Scottish Rite Freemason, that had threatened me, and like the things that had started to happen after he made that threat to me, and progressively over time, the things that had happened to me up leading up to the point of me being put in the psychiatric hospital called Unity in Portland, Oregon. And like now, give me one reason to stab you, 'cause I'm sharpening my knife. I ain't crazy like that, y'all. Like I only do it for self defense. But like, anyways, so I get it that my therapist was feeling a bit uncomfortable about some of the things that I was talking about, because like he's like one of those really, I don't know how to explain it, but he's an African American male, and he kind of has an accent almost like the people that the language, one of the languages he would have spoken could have been French or British, like a British accent, or spoke the language like French language, Francois or something like that. Plus, he knew Fali Upupa. I think that's how you say his name, because I was telling him about me listening to Fali's music. Fali or Fali. I don't know how to say it. I apologize, but I like his music, even though I don't understand every single word in that language. But yeah, um, so, and basically, I after the conversation I had with Officer Sokolov, The one on the other video, I told you guys when I was cursing his ass out and being brutally hood on that video, because I was mad as hell about, because I already knew that I was gonna get one, and I felt it that they was, because of how I'm being closely watched from the government, might I add. And it sounds crazy. I know it sounds crazy, guys. Okay, I know that, but because of the things that happened, there was like the things that I've experienced. There's no way that some of the stuff happened unless it was orchestrated by a large group of people, which I know some of them had to have been paid off in the internal affairs, and some people that work in higher positions in higher spaces. And I keep seeing that fly flying around here. So all of a sudden I know it's a spy fly, and not like electronic, but like I'm talking about a spiritual fly. And I know I'm right now, because that I'm not crazy, because they actually, somebody, I saw a video of it like maybe yesterday or the day before, of somebody talk about flies being spiritual, monitoring spirits or something like that. And I was like, yes, people are starting to catch on to that. Because like it's like you won't even have trash or something in your house, all of a sudden they come out of nowhere, or they'll get in your house somehow. But I'm not afraid. I'm just like, I have fun practicing my Bruce Lee skills, killing them with my hand quickly. But yeah. So anyways, Officer Sokolov was being like a douchebag, and like he was basically being an a-hole and a jerk. The way he was handling the call, it was very unprofessional. So that's why I was unprofessional in the way I expressed myself about my experience with him. So anyways, eh, I did tell my therapist about my experience, and how the officer Sokolov was expressing that he thought I was paranoid and crazy too. And then my therapist was like, "Well, you see how it looks like with two people, another guy, even the officer saying you look crazy." And then that's when I had my moment of shine to correct him and be like, "Sir, I understand why, I can see where you're coming from. I like saying like I'm there. It must be true that I'm crazy." But I told him the crazy that he is talking about versus the crazy that you're talking about are from two different are different perspectives. Because one, the crazy that he's saying doesn't make sense, because he's like trying to imply that I'm paranoid and crazy, when I literally have proof of the things that had been happening to me. And he told me it sounds crazy and that it's hard for him to fathom. Meanwhile, so anyways, longer story short, before I get into detail about that, not the attorney, but my therapist, he set back, his body language showed like, "Oh, okay, I see what you're saying now. Like, I'm not crazy," like how he's trying to say it's not two people saying it. And when I told him that I actually had been speaking out on YouTube about some of the stuff that I was going through, and that there were people who were agreeing with me and thanking me for actually sharing what I was going through, his whole demeanor changed. And that's when he started saying about his internship was ending, and soon, like in a couple weeks. and and I remember I had a personal read that said something about someone. I don't know if this is true, but it came up that someone tried to have him make some false statements about me and my mentality, saying that I was incompetent or whatever, and that he was going to end because of that, or for some reason. But that's probably not why he's ending. I believe he is actually ending his internship because he completed it. Because it's been about a year, 8 months to a year, that I've been month to month been talking with him. So, except for maybe 1 month I missed because it was like a holiday season, like around Christmas, and we caught back up after like the first or second week of January. And then that's around the time I actually got activated by Aniko's one of her lives that she did, that was posted by Paz or Pac or something, Paz and somebody. But they had so wonderfully saved her live on their channel, and it showed up on my YouTube at one time. And the tones of her music, it actually healed something in me and activated something to be confident and speak out about what's going on and realize the truth. It's like, I don't it's it activated me on so many different levels, because I'm also a singer like she is. But like, after all the stuff that was happening, I started to like lose hope that like I would ever do that. Basically, I was giving up on the dream of doing that, like putting my music out there. And I also found out that I also heal by music as well, which I kind of knew, because that was my intention a couple years ago, That's the last time I put any effort into trying to make any songs. Oh no, like a year and a half ago. No, last year. I think it was December 2022 before I was put in the psychiatric hospital when I was making my music. But and then I stopped cuz I didn't understand how like I could just be it could just be acceptable that I be placed in a psychiatric hospital when there was like the officers didn't even pay attention to what I was saying about me being harassed. It's like I could tell he was paid. All four of those officers knew what they were doing and that their intentions weren't to hear me out. They were trying to see they were attempting to assess me, but I had answered the officer's questions and then I walked away because I was like, y'all ain't finna try to make no reason up to take me into jail because they was just quiet, like they wanted to like what I was saying wasn't helping out the agenda that they had, so they were trying to think about what else they wanted to do. So I just started walking away, going back towards my house, and then that's when I heard they came after me quickly and trying to say, quick, take her baby. I was like, this ain't no damn movie. That's I didn't say that, but in my mind I'm like, what the hell. But yeah, and then we wrestled for a good while, y'all. But the only thing that made me release and let go of my son was when I heard a woman say, stop, you're hurting him. So I said, okay, good, they ain't trying to hurt him, so it's they trying to do something to me then. So, and then that's when I let go. And they'll tell you, because baby, all four of them motherfuckers was having a hard time getting my baby away from me. Hell, I was about to, even one dude try to call himself doing some sort of acupuncture point in my shoulder to try to hit a nerve to make me go out, fall out or something. And he failed miserably. He didn't even know what he was doing. I'm like, damn, y'all want to try to use those tactics on somebody who literally trying to be in survival mode because they don't understand what's going on, because y'all doing some shit you that's fraudulent that you ain't got no business doing, probably was paid off, and they kept my shit, they kept my card and everything. But that's okay though, because it's gonna come back on their motherfucking ass individually. They gonna go through some shit that even their badge and gun can't protect them from. I claim that. But yeah, yeah. So basically, after I told the my therapist why my why Officer Sokolov saying I'm crazy isn't relevant, is because I had proof of the things that was happening, and he still was trying to act like it was not a big deal. He was trying to brush it off his shoulders, like it was almost like he knew who I was, and that he literally was paid, or like he took a bribe to just talk to me the way he was talking to me, like it's not a big deal. He literally was about to not even make a report. He was going to shun it off like it wasn't nothing, until I told him I'm actually documenting everything I'm going through, and that it was actually that I have some other public officials that's involved, like a lawyer, and some my speech pathologist told me to make this report because she actually saw evidence of my phone being hacked when I told her that, and she was upset, and she told me it's not you guys' job for you to tell me I'm crazy. You're just supposed to make the report so I can have a paper trail in case something did happen additionally. Then that's when he started to try to act like get some act right in his motherfucking system. Because at first he was just trying to act like a douchebag about it, like, oh well, yeah, whatever. We know what's going on with you because we're a part of it, and we're just bullshitting. We're playing around with you. That's kind of the attitude he had. So fuck you, Officer Sokolov. You don't even deserve to be called officer. How about peasant Sokolov, bitch ass nigga? Fuck you. So yeah, I'm sorry, y'all. I had that moment because when I get upset, when I deal with peasants, that's how I become, like that ratchet sounding, very hood person that stands my ground. So, anyways, I hope this was helpful, and like you guys can see the stuff you go through when you're being gang stalked, but they forget that there's some people that can articulate what they're going through and then create proof of what's happening to them and show that we're not like incompetent like they try to portray us to be, because that's the narrative that they want to paint a picture of. Um, to illustrate, so that whatever they're doing, whether it be stealing an inheritance or trying to make me go down because I'm exposing too much truth and they want to get revenge on me, which keeps coming up in my cards. They want, once your forgiveness card comes up along with revenge, so I already know they want to do that. So that's why I don't give a fuck either, so I'm putting it out here and letting everybody know.